Welcome, investigator. Evil is on the rise. Crime is escalating. Our mission is to eliminate the crime by exposing evil, examine why it manifests, and highlight the brave souls that confront it every day. Join us as we work together to bring justice to every victim. Welcome to All Things Crime. Here's your host, Jared Bradley.
Hey guys, it's Jared. Welcome to another episode of All Things Crime. I am coming at you from Salmon, Idaho. And if you don't know where Salmon, Idaho is, you probably have to Google it, but it is one of the most gorgeous places, I think, in the entire United States. It's a little town stuck in the middle of the Rocky Mountains, kind of on the southeast middle of Idaho. And it is absolutely gorgeous. Not surprisingly, it got its name because it's right on the Salmon River. And I'll tell you, this time of year, the fish are running, and the snow was falling a little earlier today, and it's just a little piece of heaven up here. So my sister and my mom have lived up here for a few years, and that's actually why I'm here, because unfortunately, my mom passed away last week, and so I've been up here for about a week, just taking care of some of those affairs that you always have to do after a loved one passes away. So, it's interesting. I've been thinking about what I might bring to you guys today, and it's just things about life that, sometimes it's fair and sometimes it's not. And it seems like it really doesn't matter how prepared you think you are for a loved one to pass away. When it actually happens, it's always, I just think everybody goes through one of the, the grief steps, I guess is what they called, where, initially it's just the shock of the news, and then you go through the just disbelief, and some people, just completely just can't deal with it. Sometimes it's brings on intense sorrow. Sometimes it even brings on anger about things happening. And, my mom was almost 80. She lived an amazing life, incredible woman. And it's been an honor just to be her son and to be a part of her life. That part of it is at least a little bit comforting, that she lived, such a fantastic life. And one of the things that I really wanted to bring and kind of compare, and why I'm talking about this on All Things Crime, is because even with all the emotions that I'm feeling right now, and, my siblings and my other family members, friends and neighbors are feeling, even in this beautiful, serene place, the one that I personally am not feeling, the one emotion, at least, that I'm not feeling is anger, because my mom was able to live such an amazing life. The problem with a lot of other parents and a lot of other people around the world even, but especially, obviously I'm based in the U.S. and so I'm focused here on things that are really happening in the U.S., but the number of just crime in general, but homicides, for example, are up year over year, 20, 30, 40% in some areas of the country. And which is just a staggering number. And crime as a whole is just getting worse. And I think about that, and I think I can really relate to a lot of those parents that, for example, lose a child to just a senseless homicide, that, the grief and the pain that they are feeling. And I think I'm really being able to relate with them, at least this week and in the near future. So the thing that we have to look at is, what is it that is causing all of this increase in crime, and especially the major crimes, homicides and assaults and rapes? What is it that's driving that? And, there's fentanyl coming across our southern border, and especially in the big cities, there's district attorneys that basically have no bail type of policies, where criminals are literally back on the street before the police can even finish the paperwork. There's some jurisdictions where they're literally letting criminals just out of jail. And then we have millions of people coming across our southern border. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of them are great people, but I guarantee you inside of all those millions of people that are coming across the border are hardened criminals, and they've already caught them. And I know I've heard the latest stat is they've caught over 50, just true, they've caught over 50 people, 50, especially men, that are on the terrorist watch list. So there's a lot of bad people coming across too, MS-13 and, gang members and drugs and sex trafficking and human trafficking. And there is just the amount of issues that are coming across are all contributing to the amount of crime. But, there's lots of different factors that are contributing to it. And interestingly enough, by the time you're hearing this, we'll probably have about a week before the election. And, I'm not, I try not to make this show political, but what I would implore all of you to do is keep the victims, who are the people that are suffering the most in society, keep them in mind when you go to the polls, when you go to vote. And most of all, I encourage you to vote, because especially as a U.S. citizen, but whatever country you belong to, I hope you have the opportunity to vote. That is a sacred obligation and a privilege, and you need to exercise that privilege. But when you go to the polls, please consider the people that you're voting for. And the one criteria that I would encourage you to look at and weigh fairly heavily is law and order. And there are candidates out there that support law and order, that support law enforcement. They support people being held accountable for any time that they have broken the law. And then there's going to be candidates out there that don't support any of those. So as you go to the polls, I hope you strongly consider that, because the repercussions of this election, I feel, will either slow down this crime wave and the trend that we're on, where especially in the major cities, or it's going to encourage it. It's going to go one way or another. And where we're at with every election, you get either more. Well, you're going to get more of whatever you vote for. So I would highly, highly encourage you to vote, and to vote for candidates that support the police and law and order. So that being said, guys, I just wanted to make a quick message out here and basically just say, you know what? There's a lot of people that are out there hurting, and we can never go wrong by just being better people, and we can never go wrong by actually believing in our country. And most importantly, it's one thing that my mom was always really good at, and that is being optimistic and providing hope for people that may not have it or need a little boost. And she was always just one of those loving, caring types, as so many mothers are. And it was pretty amazing. Just over this last week, being able to reflect on all of the different memories, but most importantly, the incredible qualities that she had, and being able to say, yep, she was one of those that didn't matter what kind of circumstances you were in. If you needed help, she was the type that would drop everything and go out and provide whatever kind of help you needed. So, hey guys, hope you have a great week. Get out there and again, support those people and especially, victims out there, people that are hurting from the economy. There's lots of things that you can do to serve others and make your community a better place. So take care, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for joining us. Your attention today brings us one step closer to exposing and eliminating the evil that brings crime to our communities. Hit subscribe and share this episode. Together, we will bring justice to every victim.